Welcome to Wisdom Unveiled. Today we're really diving deep into the world of Hafez Shirazi.
That's right. We'll be exploring his work, drawing on some translated talks, mainly insights from Dr. Dinani and Dr. Larijani, from the Marifat program.
And just a quick heads up for everyone listening, this is based on translations of conversations with these Iranian philosophers. So some specific details or nuances, they might not come across perfectly.
Yeah, translation always has its challenges. We do apologize if there are any slight discrepancies. We're trying our best to convey the core ideas.
Absolutely. Our goal today is really to unpack some of the mystical and philosophical layers in Hafez, using these thinkers as our guide.
And hopefully make it accessible, for anyone seeking those aha moments without getting too overwhelmed.
Exactly. So we thought, where better to start than with one of his most famous evocative ghazals, the one that begins.
Last night I saw that the angels knocked at the tavern door.
Such a line. It really is powerful. Okay, so last night I saw, my first thought is, okay, it's about something that happened in the dark, maybe?
Well, yeah, that's the literal sense. But Dr. Dinani suggests it's probably not just about the clock or literal darkness.
Ah, okay. So what is it then?
He talks about it representing an inner state. Something like Batin-e inner seeing or Wadi Batin, spiritual perception. It's more about a state of awareness.
So less about when and more about how it was seen, like through an inner eye.
Exactly. It's a kind of perception that's, operating outside normal time, outside the physical constraints. It signals something beyond the everyday is happening.
Right. It sets the stage. Not physical darkness, but maybe inner quiet or receptivity.
Precisely. An inner space where something profound can unfold.
Okay, that makes sense. So we're in a mystical space. Then the angels knocked. Malaik. Now, angels, in this Islamic philosophical context that both doctors discuss, are we talking winged figures here?
Probably not the way we usually picture them, no. The tradition they're drawing on sees angels, Malit, as fundamentally spiritual Rouhani. They're non-material.
Non-material, so no bodies.
Right. Think of them more like pure energies or forms of consciousness. Reality is not bound by physicality.
So to perceive them, you'd need that inner sight we were just talking about.
That's the idea. Dr. Dinani implies you need that spiritual faculty, that Batin and niggerish, to even register such beings. Like, resonates with,
Spiritual sight for spiritual beings makes sense. And he uses the plural, angels. Any significance there? Lots of them.
Could be. Yeah, the plural might suggest the scale or the breadth of this spiritual event. Maybe not just one messenger, but a whole chorus signifying something major.
And that setting, the last night, this inner space, kind of amplifies that, doesn't it? Away from the noise of the day.
It really does. That detachment allows for this kind of encounter. Okay, now the really provocative part. Knocked at the tavern door. Zadani Making, a tavern. That seems deliberate.
It definitely feels symbolic, yeah. And the wine, the may, associated with taverns in Hafez, Dr. Dinani, is clear. It's not actual alcohol.
Not at all. It stands for something much, much deeper. What are those key symbols?
Well, there are two main interconnected ideas. First, Marifat, which is like divine knowledge, gnosis, real spiritual insight.
Okay, knowledge. And the second?
Mahabbat, which is deep, authentic love. Often it means divine love itself.
Knowledge and love. So the angels, these pure spiritual beings, are seeking this blend at a tavern door.
Seems like it. Which suggests, doesn't it, that at this level, knowledge and love aren't separate things.
Exactly. They're inseparable. True, deep knowing is loving, and the highest love. It carries understanding. Like two sides of the same coin. Ultimate reality.
Okay, so the angels seek knowledge and love, but why the tavern? What's the tavern itself, the May cane, symbolizing here?
This is where Dr. Dinani makes a fascinating connection. He links the tavern to humanity.
To us.
Yeah.
How so?
He suggests it represents a source, maybe a vessel, where that Marifat and Mahabbat can actually be found, accessed, through human experience.
Wait, hold on. Through human experience, so these celestial beings are looking towards us for this divine stuff. That kind of turns things upside down.
It does, doesn't it? It implies that this ultimate spiritual nourishment, this wine, isn't just out there in heaven somewhere, but it's potentially embodied, or at least accessible, right here, within the human condition.
Wow. That gives humanity a pretty significant role.
It elevates our potential immensely.
Yeah.
And that connects directly to the next bit of the line, doesn't it? The clay of Adam they needed. Gili Adam Bay Sarish 10. What's going on there? They needed Adam's clay.
Yeah, and the understanding is this happened conceptually, like before Adam's actual life on Earth. It's about preparing humanity's essential nature, our core potential.
And the angels were involved in that preparation.
That's what the verse implies, yes.
Yeah.
They were part of shaping this potential. Okay, but how does that link back to them seeking knowledge and love at the tavern? What was special about Adam's clay that they needed?
Dr. Dinani highlights a really important hadith, a sacred saying here. I kneaded the clay of Adam with my 2 hands, God's hands.
God's hands, but that's symbolic, right?
Exactly. The 2 hands are interpreted as representing God's Jamal, his beauty, grace, love, and his Jalal, his majesty, power, knowledge.
Ah, so love and knowledge again, Jamal and Jalal.
Precisely. Those divine qualities were fundamentally mixed into humanity's essence from the very beginning, by God himself.
But Hafez says the angels needed the clay. If God did the kneading, where do the angels fit in?
They're seen as participants in God's creative act, almost like divine artisans helping to prepare the material according to the divine plan. Their involvement was about getting humanity ready, preparing this clay to be a vessel capable of holding and manifesting that blend of Jamal and Jalal.
The very blend they're now seeking at the tavern door.
That seems to be the connection, yeah. They help prepare the vessel for the wine they now seek.
Okay, I think I'm following. They prepared the potential, then the line finishes, and struck it into a cup or measure. Baba, Paimana Zadend. What's this cup, the Paimana?
The Paimana is generally understood as representing our individual existence, our being, our hasting. Think of it as the unique container of each human life.
So, the essence of Adam, infused with Jamal and Jalal by God, prepared with angelic help, was then poured into the cup of individual human existence.
That's the interpretation. Our life, our being, is the vessel designed to hold this incredible potential for divine knowledge and love.
Which implies the very things the angels are seeking, the Marifat and Mahabbat, are potentially right here inside this human cup.
Exactly. It suggests a unique spiritual station for humanity. Maybe the angels need to look towards us or the potential within us to find the most complete, integrated expression of these divine qualities. It's quite something.
That idea of angels needing something from humans or even learning from us, does that pop up elsewhere in Islamic thought?
Oh, definitely. It connects really strongly with the concept of the Insan-e, the perfected or complete human being. Dr. Dinani even mentions traditions where angels, including Gabriel, learned certain praises of God, like Subhanallah, from the prophets, especially Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Wow, like that other saying, the angels sought the lesson of Adam.
Exactly like that. It highlights this almost staggering potential for humanity to be a teacher, even to celestial beings. It really reframes the whole cosmic order, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Now, just for context, angels are obviously a huge deal in Islam, right? This isn't just poetic license.
Not at all, no. Belief in angels is fundamental. It's right up there with belief in God, the messengers, the holy books like the Quran. They're seen as crucial links between the unseen world, the Al-Mughaib, and our visible world.
Transmitting grace, carrying out commands.
Yeah, they're part of the very fabric of reality in this worldview.
And there's that famous story in the Quran, isn't there, where the angels sort of question God about creating a Khalifa, a vice-regent on earth. They worried about corruption and bloodshed.
That's right. They asked, essentially, will you place upon it one who will cause corruption and shed blood, while we declare your praise and sanctify you?
How does that questioning fit with this idea of them seeking something from humanity? It sounds almost like they were doubtful.
Dr. Dinani offers a really insightful take here. He says it wasn't really a challenge to God's wisdom. Their concern came specifically for the mention of earth ard.
Okay, what about the earth?
Earth implies materiality, Murad. And for the angels, beings of pure spirit, materiality inherently carries the potential for conflict, for facade, struggle, decay, things totally alien to their nature.
Ah, so it wasn't defiance, but more like an expression of their own pure nature, encountering the concept of messy, material existence.
Exactly. They were expressing an apprehension rooted in their own being, based on the implications of embodiment. It's sometimes described as part of the Zabani Taqwin, the language of creation itself, a sort of natural reaction.
Okay, so their purity gives them one perspective.
Right. But that doesn't negate the idea that this very embodied, complex human existence is the unique place where Jamal and Jalal, beauty and majesty, love and knowledge, can be integrated in a way that perhaps even they seek to understand more fully.
So our complexity, our potential for both corruption and credible spiritual heights is actually key.
That seems to be the profound point Hafez is making right from this opening line, at least according to these interpretations. It tells us so much about how he saw human potential, love, spirituality, the search for the divine within.
It really shifts the focus inward, doesn't it, to what's held in this human cup.
Absolutely. So just to kind of wrap up this part, this dive into just the first line shows angels, pure spirits, seeking divine knowledge and love.
Marifat and Mahabbat.
At the tavern of humanity, because that potential was kneaded into Adam's clay, our essence, and poured into the cup of our existence. It's a remarkable view of us.
It really is. It puts the onus back on us in a way, which leads to some pretty big questions for anyone listening, I think.
Like what?
Well, first, how clear is your own inner vision, your Batin and niggerish? How open are you to perceiving these deeper realities that Hafez is pointing to?
And maybe, how ready are you, really? What's your capacity, your istandad, to receive that divine grace, that blend of knowledge and love? Are you actively cultivating it?
Yeah. Are you, in Hafez's terms, working to open your own tavern door? Are you making space inside yourself for that kind of transformative meeting with divine knowledge and love?
That's definitely something to reflect on. Not just a passive reading, but an active engagement with the potential Hafez sees in us.
Exactly. Well, this has been fascinating, just scratching the surface of one line. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive on Wisdom Unveiled.
My pleasure. It's always amazing to explore Hafez.
Until our next exploration, farewell.